So guys, let's take a look at this our gold, which is XAU USD. So for better analysis, we would start from the weekly time frame to actually understand where our price will be moving for on the 20th of September. See it now this way on this weekly time frame, zoom it out. We've actually been having this kind of a range market movement, right? We saw it roll up to this level. Then after the level, it dropped. We saw that huge week on a weekly time frame. It actually rolled up again to that same level again, and we had a drop, which made me alight the top, which means we would be taking the top as the resistance level. While this below I highlighted, we can see the multiple testing of the area. You can see this huge wick here. We saw its price reacted this area before going up. We saw it again at this level. We saw it again at this level. Even at this level safe, we saw it reacted multiple times. We saw once we had a breakout, the price came down to test it, even pushes up and came down to test the area before rolling up. So I mean, this is actually a level it has reacted to about 4 to 5 times now, so which I highlighted as our support level. Now this now for better understanding, we will start this analysis down here. Which what can we see here? A bearish move, right? Price is going down, and now you can see this price is now below the 10 period moving average. So I mean, with all this movement downward, there's only one thing we should do, which is actually to short this gold. Now take a look at it from here. From this drop we had on this gold, there was an impulse move. A correction was made. We had another impulse move downward. A correction was made, which came to our 10 period moving average, by the way. So we had another drop. We see that all this drop we are having was actually breaking the previous lower lows. This was the previous lower lows that this drop had we made before we actually broke below the previous lower lows. We had a pullback. Another drop was made that broke below the previous lower lows, right? On the weekly time frame, we had a correction here, and now another drop again. Even this drop self has actually broken below the previous lower low. See it here. So I mean, on this weekly time frame, we are expecting a drop, right? See it. We would want to continue to go bearish because up with the news. The reason why we would continue to go bearish is that the interest rate that was the news that was released about the interest rates, right? We all know that once there's an interest in interest rates, it will become more harder and difficult to actually borrow, to actually run a company, right? So we see that this big institution actually invest in mostly on this gold with borrowed funds. So once it becomes expensive to actually borrow, which means they will have to pay more in interest rates back, then they tend to avoid some investments. So gold is one of those investments they tend not to really invest when interest rate is high. So which means the gold tends to fall, while the USD itself tends to rise. So reason why we would be dropping on the fundamental aspects of it. On the weekly time aspect of it, we are still bearish move. We see it that this drop has broken the previous lower lows. So basically, last week we actually had a bearish move. This week definitely we will be having a bearish move. So weekly time frame we are bearish. Down to the daily time frame, we would start the analysis from here, right? We saw an impulse move here. We had a correction. There was an impulse move on this gold. We had a correction. We had another impulse move. A correction was actually made here, and now another impulse move, right? So basically we can take this as a correction on the daily time frame. Let's see if the correction will actually roll up to this level. If possible, we still have at least, let's say, 100 piece more correction move. That is it if you have it. So daily time frame, we are still on a correction level, by the way. So on the full daily time frame aspect of it, we are expected to go bullish, but as of recent now, we are still on a correction level. So I mean, to actually short it, I don't think this is the best time to actually short it. So now let's go to the 4-hour time frame to actually place the trade. Now on this 4-hour time frame, what we can see here is a bearish move. Take the look at it from this top downward, which is actually dropping on this gold, right? And now you should see it from here, an impulse move. A correction was made. We had another impulse move, and guess what? This is actually a correction. I feel the correction will actually roll up to this level. I feel it because we see the correction. The reason is that this is a key level here. Once the price gets to this level, so it bounces up. Also, once we add the drop, we add a pullback at this level. So basically, once we are now on a correction level now, I believe we should actually roll up to actually tap this level. So after we actually get the level, we should actually be getting a drop on this gold. By the way, we would want to trade what we see and not what we think. So actually, what we are seeing is that basically what we are seeing is that on this 4 hour time frame, it's kind of want to give us like a resistance and support move. You can take it as the highs and you can take it as a low. So basically, if you are to trade what we see and not what we think, let's see if the price will actually come to this resistance and drop again to this support level, then resistance again and a drop. So I don't believe the price will continue to go bearish, break the support and start going low. I still feel the the price will actually roll up to hit this pullback because price reacted there. It also reacted at this level. So I believe the price will actually come to this level before we actually have a drop on this gold. But if in case it wants to range, then we should actually see its range within this level on this gold. So I mean, 4 hour time frame, we're very much likely to range. And if price can break above this level, which we are seeing as our resistance, if price can actually break above it, sorry, then we should actually see it roll up to this level and drop. So basically, gold to our XAU USD, we should actually see some bullish move the next day. And let's see for our time frame, kind of like the same. So it's at this level, so it roll up, it dropped to this support level, right? And now we are seeing it roll up to this resistance level. Let's hope it will actually drop again and continue to give us that ranging move, or it will very much likely break above it, come to this level here and get a drop on the gold.